All the silver in this hole right here, somewhere in Utah. Why don't you come try and find it? We were supposed to be shooting a video about this chest, but Sam got distracted. He found pretty rocks. Sam, tell us what's in this chest.
Oh, this is a pretty sweet one. We've got Parks Pass as always. 25 cents in paper money. That is, what's the date on that? Like 1800s, I think. Don't quote me. 15 cents paper money as well. Super old. I mean, this is like Civil War era stuff. Of course, we got some silver. We love silver. 1 kilogram right here. But wait, there's more. I think that's Billy Mays. 2 kilograms of silver. We got silver dollar from 1901. This thing's in mint condition too. I don't know if I'd say mint, but really good condition. We got a $50 from 1906. Some V nickels that are really cool. I'd actually never seen these before. Super awesome. Some pearls for the ladies. And this is probably my favorite. This is a real pocket watch from the 1800s. Still works, keeps time, has some really cool engraving on the back. And yeah, this is gonna be a fun one.
All right, Chest 6 is finally underway. Make sure you guys are subscribed so that you don't miss out on any of the giveaways that we do on YouTube here. Make sure you like and comment on this video. Let us know where you want us to go besides Utah. If they're out of state, maybe the most comments we'll get will head that way. We do have a few already outside of Utah, but I'm curious to see where you guys want us to go. Make sure you comment so that you can be entered in for the 10 ounces of silver here. Follow along on Instagram. We give away so much more stuff on Instagram as well. And good luck, guys. We're having a blast. Outlaws were such a fun part of the American Western history. Their trail, the Outlaw Trail, stretched from clear up in Montana down into southern Utah, down into Mexico. It wasn't really a trail. It was more of a string of hideouts that they had along the way to keep themselves away from their captors. Two of the more famous hideouts would be Hole in the Wall up here in northern Wyoming and Robber's Roost down in central Utah. And that's where we're going to focus our history today. Towards the tail end of all of your outlaws, in fact, right at the very end, there was a gentleman born in 1898 to a Bill and Amy Tibbetts. Also, Bill Jr. was born about a month early. His father was out on the range tending to the cattle and when his mom went into labor. And as luck would have it, Uncle Ephraim had just randomly shown up. Ephraim was able to help Bill's mother out. And when Bill was 4 years old, Bill witnessed his father murdered. His father was taking care of a neighbor woman who had been beaten by her husband, and when the husband came calling, fight ensued and Bill's father was killed. They ended up moving down into Moab. Amy couldn't keep the ranch where they were south of the LaSalle Mountains, and they ended up moving down into Moab. Bill quickly, as he grew, was known as one of the toughest kids in school. Later, when he turned in his later teens, he and a few of his friends heard a rumor that the outlaws out at Robber's Roost had left their horses there and were gone. So they went out and rounded up these horses and sold them up in Iron County a little bit later. Bill ended up going into the military, joined the Army, and served in the war. And when he came home, things were a little different. He ended up with his mother and uncle starting a cattle, call it a ranch. They were free grazing out on Canyonlands, which was open to everybody to free graze their cattle there. However, there were already some bigger companies in the area, and fights ensued between them. And it went back and forth, and I want you guys to look into that history a little bit there. Anyway, he ended up in jail along with one of his buddies, and when things didn't go well in court, they escaped. Bill and his friend evaded the ensuing posse through Canyonlands. He knew that area evidently like the back of his hand. One night, when the posse was on him, he and his friend snuck down and stole the supplies from the posse. The next morning, they were able to convince the posse that it would be better for them to just leave and go back in without continuing to chase him. And luck have it, they did. But the posse returned a few days later and pushed them even further west. Now, the sheriff didn't know the area as well as Bill and his friend did, and so they were able to escape through some of these canyons and ended up out to Robert's Roost, where they ended up wintering that winter. That's where we're stopping the history today. Bill and his friend are out at Robert's Roost, spending the winter. It's winter here too. We're gonna finish this up in Utah. This is for the birds. It's no wonder why they never got caught up here in Wyoming. Nobody ever wanted to look for them up here. It's almost like they were in jail already. So anyway, I like Wyoming, don't get me wrong. While we're going through this, I wanted you guys to know, if you guys wanted a chance to be featured on our YouTube channel here, Out Looking for the Hunt, video yourselves, and then you can email them to the link below. It's somebreadcrumbs@gmail.com. Crumbs spelled with a Z. Send us videos of your hunt, you guys out, and hopefully whoever finds this has a video of you guys finding it. That would be amazing to throw on. So if you want a chance at that, definitely email us over. All right, guys, here's the moment you guys have all been waiting for. I hope you didn't skip through too much of the history. There's a few parts in there that might actually help you along the way, so pay attention. But here, guys, is the riddle. I'm going to read it so that I make sure I get it word for word for you guys, because some of them are important. I was at a low the day I ran into the crown, and although I have a jewel of my own, the emerald my eyes were bound. Here I knew I didn't belong, so I fled against that which pulls. At mile 1 I was still going strong, but 2 I did not reach, for my legs could not go forth that long. This wall they could not breach. Now again, remember, you always can find it off of the first riddle. We might drive you closer in a couple weeks if you haven't found it. Good luck, guys.